All right, let's talk about Kushala. Give a breakdown on Kushala, the newest champion coming out this month, and she's amazing, guys. I had a fun time testing her on the beta, and wow, there's a lot she can do. She's Incinerate immune, Bleed immune, degen. She can put a degen on the opponent, and she does energy damage. So this champion, she brings a lot to the table. I had a fun time with her. So first up, let's talk about her combo. When I was playing her in the beta, her combo was kind of easy to do. Basic 5-hit combo, and that's about it. There was nothing wonky about her combo at all. I didn't have a hard time putting any buff on the opponent. I didn't need to do medium light medium if I didn't need to do it, if I didn't want to do it. And it was just overall easy. Like, her light attacks have a 40% chance to place an indefinite ignition buff on the opponent. So you're actually encouraged to do a 5-hit combo. So as you can see here, like it was just easy to play her. Like, it wasn't complicated at all. Her heavy wasn't that bad. Her specials have great animations. Overall, just a decent combo. Easy to learn, easy to stick with, and everything worked out in my opinion. Let's talk about her strengths. One of her strengths is damage over time effects. Like, she puts several damage over time effects on the opponent. She has access to some of the most flexible red numbers in the game between her incinerates, her soul barb, her degeneration effects. In most matchups, Incinerates would be primary weapon, but Soul Barb can also punish Cosmics who resist or punish nullify effects. So her SP1 puts an Incinerate on the opponent, and on her SP2, as you can see right here, she put a Soul Barb on the opponent. And when you pair the Soul Barb with the SP1 Incinerates, the damage is absolutely insane. Like, she can melt a lot of Cosmics in the game. Like, look at that damage. It's just amazing to me. And right here, when she throws her SP3, she puts a degeneration on the opponent. And the degeneration, the more blessings you have, the more degeneration effects you will have on the opponent. And it just melts the opponent. Absolutely. It was just amazing. As you can see here, she's not even awake and she's doing this kind of damage. So yeah, like, oh man, I had so much fun testing her. And another one of her strengths is power gain. She's the first Mystic to gain power when her opponents first gain their buffs, as opposed to when they expire or are nullified. She gains less power than other Mystics might be used to, but at a more consistent pace. So power gain, one of her strengths, as you can see here. And this right here was one thing I love. She can block the unblockable, like from non-science champions, of course. She also regenerates most incoming block damage as well. Also, let's talk about her weaknesses, because every champion that has strengths has weaknesses. If the champion is Incinerate immune, Kushala won't be as effective. Like, she has alternate sources of damage to mitigate this weakness, but it slows her. It definitely will slow her down in almost any and every fight. Another weakness is nullify. Like, if a champion is immune to nullify, it's definitely going to slow down Kushala. So I would definitely not use her against science champions. And another reason is because buff immune. She gains less power from striking the opponent, so she loses a lot of her strength without the supplementary gain from her opponent gaining buffs. So as you can see here, we're not gaining buff and it's really slowing down the fight. Another one is her tempo disruption, meaning like champions that evade is also going to mess up her her rotation for trying to gain her blessings. Or miss is also going to mess up her rotation because, you know, you got to worry about missing the opponent and you can't gain the blessings as effective. She's kind of reliant on parry a little bit. And Unstoppable also messes up her rotation because she can nullify buffs, but she doesn't nullify every single buff in the game, unfortunately. I think she does that at a 50% rate, I believe. I could be wrong. I might have to double check that. But also auto block also slows her down as well. So yeah, she has a 50% chance. And also any champion that has power manipulation, such as power gain or power steal, power drain, stuff like that, it's going to slow her down because she already gains power at a reduced rate anyway. So be careful with that, just so you know. Let's talk about her immunities. Great thing about Kushala, she's Incinerate immune. So she's okay to use against Torch, unless Torch has on a pre-fight. Don't think she's Nova Flame immune, but she's definitely Incinerate immune right there, as you can see. And she's also bleed immune. She's not like, so she's half good for the damage masteries, even though she doesn't have a way to regen unless you have willpower. So if you do have willpower, definitely recommend maxing out. Let's talk about her awaken ability. Her awaken ability, the pause for activating the blessing with the fewest attacks lasts an additional 5+ seconds, but that's dependent on how many SIGs you have in the opponent. As you can see here, this isn't a high SIG, she's SIG 1 here, so the blessings aren't lasting as long. And her damaging buff have 9% chance for each active blessing to be replaced with a matching passive with 20% increased potency. Cannot talk. The chance is double against Cosmic, so after playing her on the beta, I would definitely recommend having her awaken or using an awakening gem, and I would even go generic because I think she's worth it. The higher the SIG, the better. Right here at SIG 100, you can see the blessings are lasting a little bit longer than they did when I was at SIG 1. So the signature level definitely matters for her. The higher the SIG, the better. And as you can see right here, the blessings are lasting significantly longer and they're easy to keep up. And it's not a problem. So they do max out at 3 stacks, but they're definitely worth it. The more blessings you have, the more damage you can do. As you can see here, we put that soul barb on and it's ticking for 1k damage. And he doesn't even have a lot of buffs. And if I pair that with the SP1, she's just gonna melt this guy. Like right here, we paired it with the SP1, put that incinerates on, 4k tick. Absolutely beautiful to see. And she doesn't even have a lot of buffs. And right here, she's SIG 200. And the great thing about her prestige is 18,210. Not bad prestige. And she definitely, in my opinion, I would say she needs high SIG. She doesn't, it's kind of a double-edged sword. She doesn't really need to be awakened, but if you want to take advantage of those blessings and get even more damage and have an easier time activating those blessings and making those blessings last longer, I would definitely recommend having her high SIG because she's just going to be so much more efficient and better when she's awakened in that high SIG. As you can see right here, she's just melting this Mephisto down and it's not even a problem. Oh my goodness, I'm having so much fun testing this woman out. Like she even kind of stops his power gain, which not a power gain, his healing. She literally almost shut it down. As long as you have the Despair Mastery, bro, she can do some amazing things with that with her incinerates or her soul barb or her degeneration. So definitely recommend using Awakening Gem on her generic and putting a lot of SIG stones, as many as you can get into her to get the most out of her. Next, let's talk about her synergies. She has a few synergies. She has one with Danny Mustar. The first time Danny will be struck, she gains a combo shield caster for 5 seconds. And Blessings of Power reduce the opponent's ability power rate by an additional 10% for each, so up to 30%. And it's doing an okay job here. Again, it's not something I will rely on though. One of her next synergies is with, fire cleanses and basically makes her her buffs last a little bit, or debuff last longer. And right here, this makes her heavies more effective and more potent, as you can see here. And last but not least, the Ghost Rider synergies, damaging effects have a 10% increased potency. So her synergies, not bad. Let's talk about her on defense. She's not a bad defender, but I didn't find her a troubling defender. Like, you can't Archangel her because she's bleed immune. You can't use Torch against her unless you use Nova Flame. But overall, she wasn't that tough of a defender to me. I think she's definitely more of an offensive option. I don't think I would use her much on defense, in my opinion. And right here, I used Doom, and it was going kind of well. I still can control the flight. I gotta also remember that she can block unblockable attacks, so that was kind of annoying. But other than that, she wasn't a tough defender, in my opinion. You can use other nuke options for her, especially Science Champions. And right here, I'm using Ghost, and it's not even going that bad, in my opinion. It's still working out in my favor. And I probably could end the fight in an instant with Ghost against her. So let's talk about relics. There were 2 relics I found her good with. The Scarlet Witch relic, which Kushala's blessings trigger the abilities of the relic, allowing her to improve either her regen or ability power rates, and it can further boost her ability accuracy during special. So I think this is the best relic for her, in my opinion, the Scarlet Witch relic. But you can use the Ghost Relic relic. This relic works particularly well with the degeneration on the SP3, but the boosted damaging effects and power gain and its attributes are generally helpful for Kushala. So those are the 2 relics I found most effective for her. And if you're going to attach a relic, I will go with the Scarlet Witch relic, in my opinion. Let's talk about Masteries. There were two Masteries I thought were really good with her. The Mystic Dispersion. While Kushala does not gain the usual effects of Mystic Dispersion, it is nonetheless greatly boosts her power gain and allows her to throw significantly more special attacks. And another Mastery I also found effective. So let's say you don't want to use an Awakening Gem on her, or you don't have any Awakening Gems. The Despair Mastery is really good for her. Unawakened, Kushala has access to many buffs and can use this mastery to shut down healing. Awakened, she improves on it and can even cross over the line into some light heal reversal. So overall, those are the two best masteries. I guess you could use her for the damage masteries, even though she doesn't really have an option to heal. So I wouldn't really recommend using the damage masteries for her. You could, but again, I wouldn't recommend it because you're going to take a lot of recoil damage because she throws her special a lot. Unless you plan on like cycling the SP3s, I wouldn't really use the damage masteries in my opinion. Let's talk about her overall. Overall, amazing job. She was so good. I had to ascend her on the beta because wow, like if I had her as a 6-star or a 7-star unawakened, I would ascend her. I would definitely invest all my 6 stones into her. She was absolutely fun to play. She was easy to play. She wasn't complicated at all. Offensively in Battleground, she's going to end a lot of fights fast, especially against Cosmic Champions. Like this, she was absolutely amazing. Like I have no complaints about her. I think DLL did an amazing job on her, and she's not like overly broken in the game. She's just powerful. If used right, she can do so much and end fights so quickly. I even venture to say she might even be good for like long range content because of all the damage she can do. Like on every one of her specials, she puts some kind of damage over time effect on the opponent. Now, she did also have trouble against attacker or defenders who can shrug off buffs like stun. So like right here, Vision Arcers, I had a difficult time building up Kushala because he kept shrugging off my stun. So she's kind of reliant on parrying and heavying, but outside of that, she's good. Also, be careful with tenacity because she's also not really good with tenacity as well. But overall, absolutely amazing champion. I would ascend her. I would use a generic Awakening Gem on her. I would use generic 6 stone to her. I would throw the whole all my resources in her to get her to rank 5 because she's amazing and she's going to be good on Battleground. She's also going to be good for questing, and I even venture to say she will be good for long range content in my opinion. As you can see here, just melting this champion. So overall, amazing job. I love this champion. But if you did like this video, please hit that like button. For anyone new here, if you can hit that subscribe button, I'll greatly appreciate it. Y'all take care. Have a great and wonderful day.